Today's episode of Desert Sky Adventures is brought to you by the Desert Sky Adventures store, where all remaining t-shirts are now just $15 plus shipping at desertskyadventures.store. Well, hello again, friends. Welcome back to Desert Sky Adventures, and welcome back to Texas for part 2 of our great Texas road trip, as we have left the Fort Worth Stockyards and made the 2.5-hour voyage, give or take, north towards the Oklahoma border to the small town of Electra, Texas. That is where the Cowpokes International Film Festival will be taking place in just a short period of time. Now, we knew nothing about Electra, Texas, other than the fact that it was very close to the Oklahoma border and it was where the festival was being held. But we were assuming it was a very small town because the closest accommodations we could find were about 35 minutes away. But other than that, we have no idea what to expect once we get to Electra. My initial thoughts when we got to Electra, Texas, was what a strange place to have a film festival. Electra was once a prosperous oil town that boomed in the 1910s. As you can see, it appears to be well past its glory days. Many of the businesses and homes were either boarded up or abandoned. According to the most recent census data, Electra has a population today of 2,300 people or thereabouts, but you wouldn't know it from driving around the streets. It seemed very much like a ghost town. While we were actually driving by this building, I thought at the time we were looking at a courthouse. But as it turns out, this is not a courthouse, this was actually once a church. There are empty houses next door to it, which might have been home for the clergy at the time. It's hard to say. But I was able to find a picture of it when it was in better condition. Today, it's in pretty rough shape, but still stands. I read it went through a couple different owners, but none of them were able to fix it up. We then got our first look at the historic Electra Grand Theater, site of tonight's festivities. We'll come back and check that out in just a little bit. Despite its very quiet demeanor, I found Electra, Texas to be a fascinating place, as it's so rare that I get to visit or spend any time in Middle America. And I found it a very interesting place to explore. I've spent time in quite a few small towns, but Electra, Texas has something I've never seen before. As we drive up on the Electra lumber yard, what appears to be an actual normal lumber yard actually doubles as a pizza shop. One-stop shop for lumber and pizza. Can't get much better than that. So Paul, what do you think of Electra, Texas?
It's dead.
It's dead, yeah. It's really dead. Interesting place though. A lot of like really cool old buildings and
because
stuff.
if you like old school architecture from like the 20s and 30s, this place is just smack full of it.
Yeah. Really hot though.
Yeah.
Other than that, not too bad.
Yeah, hot. Like when you open an oven up that's been turned up to 500 degrees, that comes close. It's crazy.
Over here on the sidewalk, one of these metal tiles has come down from up here. Right there in the corner, most likely. Might not be safe to walk under here, Paul.
Stunt, man.
Been here a long time, coming apart piece by piece. The quiet town of Electra, Texas.
This whole town. Put that in the video. Hey, Paul's over here trying to get me to steal all the wood. We're gonna grab a bunch of that brick. Old school brick.
After doing a little looking around the town here, it was now time to set our sights on the historic Electra Grand Theater. As the town's population grew, the need for an entertainment venue became more and more necessary, so in 1920, the Electra Grand was constructed. It was a theater used for vaudevillian acts, and later a movie theater, an opera house, and boxing matches were also held here.
The movie theater's been around for 150 years, you know?
Needless to say, this building is a big part of Texas history, and I couldn't wait to see what it looked like on the inside. The tile work outside the box office in front of the theater is in pretty rough shape. It'd be nice to see it get repaired someday. I'm guessing the entire facade of this street is historic in nature because somebody spent a good amount of time and effort to put a metal brace up to make sure that this brick wall does not come down. There was once another storefront here at one time, but today, this area houses the modern bathrooms. I can only imagine what it would have been like to see a show here during the town's heyday.
Not bad in the shade.
Unfortunately, we're not going to get a whole lot of relief from the heat as this building does not have air conditioning. They did the best they could with the swamp coolers, but if you have any experience with swamp coolers, you know with as humid as it is outside, they don't really work all that good. It's hot and muggy outside, cool and muggy inside. I noticed over here in the corner they had these old projectors. It's pretty cool. The building needs a lot of work, and as we understand it, some of the proceeds from this event are going to go towards the restoration of the building, so that's pretty good. This building also had that very distinct old building musky smell that hits you right as soon as you walk through the door. It's a pretty common thing with buildings this old, though. It would be great to see this building get completely restored and come back one day after that's been completed, but we'll just have to wait and see. Well, our moment of truth draws near. Nothing left to do now but sit back, relax, and see if we can win anything. But first, a screening of our movie. It's the third time I've seen it on a big screen. I'll show you my one scene in one line here.
You offered us pennies on the dollar for what it's worth. This is our home. We dug it out of the ground with our own hands. My wife is sick inside, and she can't travel.
Yes, you've already told us that. That's not our problem. Now you've left us with no other choice but to condemn the property. And that means the railroad will own it 30 days. And you will leave.
Or it could be removed. If you'd like to go about it the hard way.
Where's the car, Charlie?
right, Paul, it's all over.
Yes,
Looks
it
like we got a
is.
few things. What did you get?
We got 7 different awards out of 12 nominations.
Sweet.
Yes.
You got
That one's for Best Western Drama Short for What Must Be Done.
Nice.
That one's for First Time Filmmaker Paul Bloom for What Must Be Done. That one is for Best Director Paul Bloom and John Morris for Minor Justice. That one is for Best Western Movie Poster, What Must Be Done. That was for Best Proof of Concept Film, Minor Justice.
Sweet.
Best First Time Western Screenwriter, Paul Bloom for Minor Justice. And Best Director, Paul Bloom, What Must Be Done.
Sweet.
Yes, we're very, very proud of what the film and the little trailer that we had has accomplished at this festival.
Awesome.
You should pat yourself on the back, Dave. You're the
Thank
one that
you.
did all the filming, brother.
That's right.
Yes.
Well, for what must be done anyways.
Yes.
congratulations to both of you.
Well, congratulations, guys.
Thanks. Let's go home.
And with that, the great Texas road trip comes to an end. But we covered a lot of ground. I got to see a lot of state and learn a little Texas history, something I didn't know. Got to see Fort Worth Stockyards, a couple places I'd never been to before. And on top of all that, our movie won several awards. So it was a really great trip. But I hope you all enjoyed coming along with us. If you did, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Those things really help us out. They don't cost you a thing. So, from Wichita Falls, Texas, until next time, until the next video, we'll see you down the road.
Somebody's house is going
That's kind of weird.
There it goes.